folks. Welcome back to another enlivening episode of Whining About Pest Control. I am Shelby Hartzer of 360 Pest Consulting, and you better go grab a big glass today because we are going to whine about the big problem of ants. And in honor of ants, I have a thievery Sauvignon Blanc because ants are little thieves, so cheers. Pretty drinkable. All right, let's get right into this because ants is a really broad category. We have about 14,000 species of ants worldwide. We have about 700 species of ants in the US. Some of those species are invasive. We have red imported fire ants. We have Argentine ants, a bunch of other ones too. Now, most of our 700 species here are not going to be a huge pest issue, which leaves the rest of them to be a massive pest issue for us. For control, we have quite a few tools. There are liquids, granulars, baits, RTU sprays. We've got numerous active ingredients when it comes to ants, and we have formulation choices as well. So with all these treatment options, why do we still have ants? And of course, what are we going to do about it? So when it comes to ants, you tend to see a couple typical failures when it comes to control. So one reason for the failures is not knowing the species of ant. I know ants suck. They all look like ants. Of all the insect groups out there, I have the most trouble with identifying ants. But it doesn't matter. It has to be done. Because if not, you really can't successfully figure out what they are and how to get them out and away from structures. Say you have carpenter ants. You spray something on them because, hey, they're ants, right? Well, being carpenter ants, it was likely a satellite colony, and there will be more problems nearby that you aren't addressing that are just going to come back. It's like picking up any old random bottle of wine and saying, it's as good as any other bottle, when in fact it's a sweet one. It's disgusting. Next reason for some of the control failures we see is not using enough treatment. And in this case, we're usually talking about baits. So you've got ants that are foraging in my kitchen. You put down some bait, you see them picking it up, you know it's accepted. What we forget is that it's only about 10% of the colony that is out foraging. And that whole 10% isn't in my kitchen. So we're talking about a fraction of 10% that's there. That bit of bait that you put down is gone pretty quickly, and it's not enough to kill off the entire colony. So the ants come back into the kitchen foraging for their favorite snack that I've left them. Use enough bait and you have theoretically treated the whole colony. Same thing if it's outside. You're using a granular bait. Putting just a little bit down is like me only getting one glass of wine. I'm going to keep searching and foraging for more wine until, let's just leave it there, okay? Oh, and of course, knowing the species that you're dealing with helps to choose the best bait. Last set of failures we tend to see, reinfestation. Ants, like every other pest out there, don't stay on their side of the fence. When there's food, the ants are going to be foraging and they will find it at some point. So eliminating as many of those conducive conditions as possible will prevent that. But let's be honest, it's not going to totally eliminate the possibility entirely. When I have a problem with fire ants, I can pretty easily go treat that nest that's in my yard. However, I can't treat the nearby nest that's over the fence in my neighbor's yard. Some education here. The customer needs to know what to expect. And that's going to be helpful because they're going to do their part. It's also a great reason to pitch recurring service because, hey, we know you're still going to have these problems, so why don't we keep coming back for you? It's like knowing exactly where my favorite wine is. I'm going to keep traveling there to get it until I'm knocked down. Obviously, I've only scratched the surface of this giant anthill. We can and will talk lots more on ants in future episodes. Until then, grab a glass. Put down enough bait and hit all those buttons down there so you don't miss out on the next exciting episode, because that would be very unpleasant. Here's to enlivening ants. Cheers.